Okay, can you hear me? Let's hope this works. So if it works, I'm just going to say, here's the family tree. All right, I'm going to see if that worked. Whoa, what is that? That's not what I wanted. Okay, this works. Okay, take a look at this. This is the paternal line and maternal line of my mother. It doesn't go back that far. So I took the information from the documents that I had, because we came over a little later, and I highlighted maternal line and connected. So here's Josephine Lehman, who was my mother's mother. These are her. This is how she came to be. She married John Joseph Demarco. So Benjamin Carbonaro married Mary Carbonaro. They had another Mary Demarco. She was Mary Carbonaro the second, I guess. Married Joseph Demarco. And John Joseph Demarco, my grandmother, married Josephine. Over here, George B. Lehman married Lydia. I don't know her maiden name. He had George D. Lehman, Charles F. Lehman, who married Josephine, and also Annie Lehman. And then here's Josephine. And then you can see my mom here. So my father's side goes back to 1535 in Schwieberdingen, Germany. And this is in legal landscape orientation because of how large it is. And I from the documents I had, I weeded everything out to be just straight line because there's a lot of branching off of here and there, that we want to just keep it tailored. So you can see how I highlighted Hans. Hans starts here because he was the latest offspring on this page, but now he's springing off, and he marries Rosina, who had Johann. Johann marries Anna, who had George or Georg, and Georg marries Rosina, who had Johann. Johann marries Christina, who has Christian. Christian marries Rosina. Rosina has Johann, marries Caroline, who has a Wilhelm. Yay! Different name. Wilhelm Edward Kramer. Wilhelm Edward Kramer changed his name to Edward W. Kramer at some point. He married Clara Wood. Her mother may have been Clara R. Rossler. I don't know. There was not a lot of record on that. He had Edward Kramer. Okay, so you want to insert, you go to insert the shapes, click here, boom. They had Edward, or you go like this, like that, boom. They had Edward. Edward marries Marie McCooey. Marie had, between these two people, they had Edward, John, my father Jim, Richard, Patricia, and Nancy. Now James Morris marries Carol S. Kramer, and they have Kristen, Kara, and Jimmy. You can see the lines are screwy, but you see how this goes, okay? So, on my grandma Kramer, whose maiden name was McCooey, George Morton, and Mary Bennett were the ones in the United States at the time. I had to squiggle this off because I initially used smart art to create a hierarchy. When you do that, you are stuck with lines you don't want. So we're going to do text boxes, okay? So Mary Emma Morton Dickerson, Mary Emily McGinn. Mary Emily McGinn marries Thomas F. McCooey. Alice, Anna, Harry, Lillian, Maria, which is my grandmother, and James Morris was the brother of my grandmother, who's who his dad's name was after. So Kristen, she was highlighted in purple. Let's highlight her. Let's put it in bold so you can see it better. So all the purple people. Okay, now I highlighted that for a reason. So Kristen married James, but did have Jesse with Peter Thompson. So what I did here is that there's a blue line as the father. The red line connects Jesse, who's Kristen is her mother, and James Riley is also mother. James Riley the third or the fourth, I have no idea at this point. Change the you can change uh, the the designations here to be correct when you get this. You can see that they're connected. Then you have Riley's the same father with Josh, but different mother was Bree Taylor. That was after the divorce. So yeah. So and we're going on, and then I broke it out here: Riley the third to Junior to the first, and then the mother of Riley. Got to put the maiden name in here, and then the great grandmother's name as well. Okay. Same the mother of Riley. Great, and you can break it out to her father and her mother. It's really just mother of Riley to father. You can change that to if you want to make it a little bit less confusing. You can see how I'm doing that. I'm hitting the wrong thing. You can see what I'm doing. Mother. Mother. Okay, so you can say grandfather and grandmother. Yeah. Put the names in. Okay, Josh Riley will do the same thing. Bree Taylor's father and mother, grandfather, grandmother. And he can go back as far as he wants. I don't know if they have any, I don't know if Bree had any other children. So if there was something that happened, he could add a text box there, and I could show you how to do that. So, well, let's show you right up here. Let's say Bree did have had another child. I don't think so. Draw a text box, and you can put the text, put it right down in here. So what I did is, here's home, go to insert, go to text box, draw a text box, and you saw what I did. Now, you see, go to shapes, and there's a line, boom. Now, if you want to change the color, you can, right up in here. Yeah, shapes and styles, thick and thin, lines like that, okay? Now, we'll just undo all that. Now, you got Peter Thompson. Now, I know that, all right, so if that doesn't look great, you can always delete that if you wanted to. It goes like that. So you can always if you want to try to do the straight line deal, go to shapes. Try that one. Go like that. And then do that. So there you go. Looks a little nicer, doesn't it? You go back to home. So Peter Thompson, wife, mother. Gabby is the child, father, mother, grandfather, grandmother. Now, Beatty, same difference. You go all the way back here. You can see I started it for William, for Mark. Now, I didn't add any children, so he may have to, add the kids down here. Again, he can do it down here. Insert, shapes, try that guy. And you go, not that one. Try it again. That one. And then he can insert a text box. Draw a text box right there. See how that goes? And then you can do it any which way. So we're not going to um, we're not going to jump the gun for Mark. We'll just go like that for now. And good. All right. Janice, now from that big, if you look on in the Slack and all the digitized versions of the Peet and McClenahan line, they were handwritten. So I scanned them best I could, and then what I did is I just did the direct line of your mother that leads to your mom, Janice Elaine Peet, on the paternal maternal side is what we want to say, and then did the same thing for William Farrell McClenahan. Now you can see I added these people, and yes, they are important. Highlight them, and then add them down on the final page, because one page is way just this is long enough if you want to add them. Now here is I typed all this stuff out so it's more easily legible because they were in print. So now if we ever get any more knowledge about birth dates and stuff like that, we can add it in and change it. There's like an Edwin Wilmer who married a Hannah McGregety. They might be first cousins, I don't know, but they weren't direct lines to John McClenahan or William Farrell McClenahan. So kind of left that out, not to be misleading, but because they didn't produce him. So Ebenezer Dickie McClenahan, creator of the McClenahan family tree, all the handwriting and the such. So he was the one who put that together, I believe. If not, it was Catherine. Now, I don't know. So John McCready McClenahan or Laura Jane Farrell got married. They had William Farrell McClenahan. First marriage to Mary Everest. These are the half brothers, sisters. Married Gladys again and had the others, Mary, Julia, William Farrell. I don't know the names. Change it if it's wrong. Add dates. That's fine. So this is my brother's. It's out of order. I know. Whatever. So you can see how I did James Morris and Matthew, Timothy James, DeShiel, Glenn. Add what you want to add. Same with Sarah. Did Sarah here. And it added John, even though John didn't create Sarah. John was part of the family. Add him in with mother and father and going back if you would like to. And there's Gladys Herring. I don't know anything about her. I know she existed. So if you guys have any information, please add her as well. Donald, I added. Now, he had a mother and father too. And I know the mother may have married his second husband. He took the name of Scora, and that's important. So I added this spot for him as well. So if you have any questions, just let me know. And I hope this works.